So I guess we'll call the meeting to order, the public sector of this meeting. Welcome all our guests. If there are any media, can they identify themselves? We're all now live. Okay. Any media in the online or with us tonight? We have Elena Beniri. She's online, and we just want to give some of our regrets. Some of our colleagues are attending the in Iroquois caucus out in Aguasasne, and that's how they say it, Aguasasne. So we're going to, some of them might join us if they can get connection, and if not, we'll just continue on in their absence, and we have quorum tonight, so we can continue on with the business in order of the elected council. We do have a delegation as well, and before that, though, we like to always, in memoriam, reflect and give a pause for any one of our families who've been affected by any snake, I think, say that, and it's been a troubling time in our families for those who have passed a loved one in their family. So, so you want to take them? Yes. Yeah. We could also acknowledge at this moment the fire our friends are having in California. I know all of us have probably seen the devastation. That is unbelievable. I never ever seen that, and I don't think anybody's seen that in our lifetime. I mean, when we see a home burned, one home is horrible, but to see that many all at once is just incredible watching it. Anyway, we'd like to send out our love and our support to all the first responders that are fighting those fires over in California as well. And of course, we always give support to our own first responders here at home. And we know the value that they carry in protecting us and serving us as well. So we'd like to take a moment and just take a moment to reflect. Okay, thank you very much. And we'll go on with our agenda. Can we have a motion to accept the agenda, or is there any other items? Audrey, seconder, Dale, any other additions, comments? Okay, so we have no additions to our agenda, and then we have our first delegation, right? Aaron Montour from Grand River Employment and Training. I think we had some. Only one? Yeah, only delegation tonight is Aaron Montour from Grand River Employment and Training.
But she's here on behalf of Michelle Farmer, Stars of Tomorrow.
Okay, and she's here on behalf of Michelle Farmers, Stars of Tomorrow. Yes, Helen?
Yeah, I got a call from Alex, text from Alex Jameson wants to talk about having a meeting on mold. So we can bring that up.
We'll bring that up at the end. Aaron, we do have quorum, so thank you for staying. And I just advised her, I said, I know we got quorum tonight, but we do. Yes, I heard you when I. So we have you on our agenda as our delegation for tonight, and we'll deal with any requests, and then we'll advise you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi. Sorry. Do you have the presentation I sent in? Okay.
Need some time to hook it up. I guess the rule of thumb is we usually give 20 minutes of a presentation, and then we have
I'll be on time.
and have a Q&A with you.
Yep.
And then we'll make a decision. Okay, thank you.
So I'm here tonight to present. I'm Erin Montour, by the way. My day job is I'm the CEO of Grand River Employment and Training, Inc. After hours, I do a lot of volunteer work. I was the coordinator for the Founders Cup in 2012. I was the coordinator for when Little NHL got brought to Mississauga the first two times Six Nations hosted it. This year, I took on a volunteer position with Michelle Farmer's Studio of Dance and Modeling. This year, it's her 50th anniversary. So, the reason I'm coming to council is because this is a very large milestone for anyone within a First Nation. So, she would be the only Indigenous artist to own her own dance studio within the First Nations. So that is a huge honor. And my presentation today is about looking to council to see if we could get some assistance in regards to actually hosting the show. That's one thing that's very important, I think, to our community and moving forward. So Tia, if you just want to go to the next slide. I did submit a proposal back in June as well. We've been just trying to schedule in myself to do a presentation. So my intro is Michelle Farmer's Studio of Dance and Modeling. Her Stars of Tomorrow show will be celebrating its 50th season in May 2025. Michelle Farmer is the owner and operator of the Dance and Modeling Studio, and they are the only Indigenous dance studio operating in a First Nations for over 50 years. Michelle Farmer's Studio of Dance and Modeling has had numerous national championships in Niagara Falls, New York City, Ohio, Myrtle Beach, and California. Models have graced the stage on various runways, and students have landed leading roles in mainstream television and movies. I was actually going to bring dancers with me tonight, but since it was last minute, I didn't bring any. Plus, she's also getting ready to have 15 numbers ready for April when we compete in Ohio. So if you want to go to the next slide, Tia. I just have some photos. I'm sure you see her all over social media, or if you've seen any of the shows that she's puts on. They're amazing. I can say I'm an alumni dancer. I'm not going to date myself, but I've probably been dancing, how old am I? 48. I started when I was 3. So, and me and my sister have always gone back year to year. You'll see people like Trudy Porter, Chrissy Johnson, Marcy Sandy. So we still go back even after all these years. You want to go to the next slide? These are just more pictures. This was when we competed in Myrtle Beach this past summer in July. We took 7 numbers out, and my youngest, who is 6, they competed in, it's called the mini division competitive. They won first place. But what the national showstopper competition does is they group all the numbers at the end of the competition, and they do an age range from 2 to 10, group them all together. And our jazz group actually was 0.03 away from winning the whole national competition. And I know dance isn't quite something that's, as celebrated as our sports here on Six Nations, but I really think like it does change your lives when you put these young people on stage like this. So if you want to go to the next slide. So when I look at Michelle Farmer, she began dancing at the age of 2. She moved to Six Nations at 12 years old. She was told by several dance studios that there was nothing more they could do for her, that she already didn't know. She went to Toronto for lessons throughout high school. She also took training in Chicago, 13 consecutive years in New York City, where she was able to audition for the Radio City Rockettes. And she always remembers the teacher telling her that it didn't matter if you had a small studio within a strip mall, on the 3rd floor of a building, that you can produce powerful dancers no matter where you are. And for 50 years, she's been doing that out of her basement. Next slide. So again, these are just some photos that we have of the dancers. And you can see the different age ranges. Next slide, Tia. And this is just some of the kids in the basement. So my request today is that I'm respectfully requesting to ask for your support. Michelle Farmer Studio of Dance and Modeling Show. So we're tentatively booked for May 17th, 2025 at the Sanderson Center in Brantford, Ontario. Pending request. It's currently coming in around $46,000, and I know Amos would know this based on working in the arts. It's very expensive. The Sanderson Center has been really good to work with. We're only looking at even hosting just one show because that's all we could afford to do. Um, but the date of the Stars of Tomorrow show that we're able to secure right now at the Sanderson Center coincides with Six Nations Community Awareness Month. And I think that this could be a way that we look at adapting it as a free event for all and build it into our community awareness. I mean, we do share a common goal when it comes to support and development of community. Michelle Farmer's Studio of Dance and Modeling provides a safe place for our children, our youth, and our adults to feel empowered, to build our self-esteem, express our emotions, positively impacting, our physical, mental, and emotional and social development. And for over 50 years, we have to look at the positive impact she's had on more than 5,000 community members who later became leaders in our community, whether it be volunteers, teachers, artists, directors. In March, I do have a meeting with the Sanderson Center to finalize all our costs associated with the 50th anniversary, just because there may be a little bit of a variance because when we first did this back in June, we have to deal now with unions. So we have a lot of the workers within the Sanderson Center that are stage directors and stage hands, and they could not confirm their union rates last year to what they would be this year. We're establishing a planning committee for the 50th anniversary show, so it'll be comprised of alumni, parents, and all volunteers. There's no paid positions. We have appointed specialized positions, so it would be those that have the expertise in the field of event planning, marketing, social media, show itinerary, and budget. And it would be ideal if council could assist in the funds because we could look at it as council would be a official sponsor for the 50th anniversary show. And I would also like to request if we could have someone come and speak and present, whether it be a special plaque to Michelle or a presentation from council. And when it would come to process, I would do exactly what I've done in the past because I have been here. Council supported the Founders Cup and they supported the 2 years of Little NHL. And we just direct build the finance department. So the funding flowed through council directly. So Sanderson Center would bill council. There's no funding that would flow through any of our volunteer committee hands. So that's my request today, is to see if we could get support.
Okay, you heard the presentation. Do you have any questions, Council? Okay, Dale?
So you said you sent this in June?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I think this is first we're seeing of it. So
No.
Yeah, lost
Me
my
and
question.
Nathan
I
have
lost
been
my
going
question.
back and forth for a bit, just trying to get me in for a meeting. So sorry.
Is there other streams of funding that you're going after besides?
We're in line though. That's the thing, right? When it comes to, so I've reached out to Janice Montour, like we're doing other things. So but this is going to be above and beyond. Like the base that I brought in today is just the cost for Sanderson Center. So I'm going to be seeking funding elsewhere for other supports because we're not even just going to be doing it as a dance show. We're actually, we've been in contact with Murray Porter. Like we're actually want to make it like a showcase of talent too. So it's not just going to be just the kids dancing or whatever. We want it to be more a celebration of our arts and culture.
Any other questions?
My daughter just turned 2 years old and she danced.
I have a photo.
Yeah. Both of my daughters, actually.
Yeah.
Mike, oh.
Helen. Oh, Helena, you got a question?
I just wanted to mention, while we have this presentation going on, and there may be people watching, families, that we did update the community donation fund application and increase the amounts. So for all of the families or families that wanted to come back to dance, they can apply for some of that money under arts and culture. and that application is available on the sixnations.ca website.
Yes, that's right. Individuals could actually apply to be a part of the celebration as well.
So that's one thing that Michelle doesn't do. What most studios do is you actually have to pay a fee to have a show. She has never in her 50 years charged in your registration fee an extra cost to put a show on. She's actually taken on those costs, and this is why this is something that we've really wanted to do for her. My ideal plan would be where I actually could sit Michelle out in the audience for her to actually watch for the first time ever her own show, because she's always backstage. You know, she never gets to see any of it. She'll see reels from parents or, you know, them videotaping it and stuff. And I just think it would be really special to do that for her.
Helen?
I think I like the idea that it's going to be a showcase of talent. It's
Mhm.
not just going to be a dance show.
Yep.
I think when it was mentioned to us, it wasn't mentioned like that. It was like we were going to be recognizing a business. So
A private
This is
business, that's what was
different.
presented to us
Mhm.
earlier.
yeah, we want.
It's not necessary. So, but see, that's why it doesn't, even though she is a business owner, she doesn't profit from doing any of this. That's what I want to establish. It's a showcase of our community members, our youth, our teens, our adults, you know. It's us who benefit from watching this, right?
I agree. Well, Helen, Hazel, sorry.
In the context of it being a showcase of talent for the entire reserve,
Mm-hmm.
I like that idea. And as Dale has said, it was presented to us as I thought it was kind of a private.
No, I would want it open to the community,
Yeah.
free. Like there would be no admission costs, nothing. Kind of like how, so we used to participate when the police did the PALs. Remember the big ones up at the Sanderson Center where we had, I think it was like mental health and addictions, used to put those shows on. It's along the same lines,
Yeah.
right? And that was free to the community.
Well.
Can we put on a dance show?
Go ahead.
We can all dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll all do it. We'll all do it.
Sure, tall follies.
Yeah. So do we have a motion that we want to maybe send this over to finance and see whether we could use some own source funding to support this? Is that maybe the ideal way to go?
I mean, the comment so far, Aaron, has been correct in relation to Michelle Farmer being a private business, and it makes it very difficult for council to allocate any kind of resources to any private business.
Mhm.
And knowing there's over almost close to 500 businesses located on Six Nations, so we start doing one, we gotta do them all.
Yep.
It makes it difficult. But you coming forward now and mentioning that it's a showcase of Six Nations talent is totally different than what
Yep.
we were led to believe, in the sense that it was a private business.
We have approximately right now 70, I think there's around 75 like dancers. So that's who it's more about. You know what I mean? It's like celebrating, even though it's Michelle's 50th as well, too, obviously recognition. But again, like I said, there's no profit that's ever made from putting this show on. That's why I want to do it this way. She's not going to get ticket sales. Like there's no direct benefit.
So outside of that, like what other individuals would be like part of the showcase? And why I want to say all that is because council has done that in the past, and we've done it. I think it was at an AFN conference that was held in Niagara Falls where we had a showcase of talent.
Yeah, we participated in it.
Where we started out early with all the young ones.
Yep.
And yeah, Michelle,
we were there.
Different singers,
Mhm.
dancers,
Yep.
traditional singers and
Yep.
dancers, all the way up to, I think at the end might have been Murray Porter or
Yep. And that's been the plan
or
again.
Derek Miller at the
Mhm.
end. So it was a showcase of talent, and yeah, council did allocate money out of OFNLP for it as a community
Mhm.
showcase of talent. So that's completely different than what we were led to believe,
Okay.
like wanting to fund a private business to celebrate their
Yep.
50th anniversary, which would be difficult for council to do in relation to allocating any type of resources. But the talent showcase is completely different.
Audrey?
Thanks for coming, Aaron. Relax. Nobody here bites. Yeah, we were under the, I guess, a misunderstanding of what this was really about.
Mm-hmm.
No, this wasn't brought to us back in June. It was, you may have been working behind the scenes.
Yeah, I was.
And, and so now our previous acting CEO is no longer here. So all that information and work didn't get to this table.
Mm-hmm.
And I can support this as long as the terminology and the motion changes
Okay.
to the showcase of talent.
Yep.
And also in recognition of the 50 years.
And we can work with community to see what they would like to do, right? We could put a call out.
Okay, we can work on that motion as well. So I'll move it, but I would move that we ask Jennifer to find out how much money we have, we can.
Yes, I
Fine.
can come back at general finance with an analysis of that.
Okay, I'll make
and
that
source of
motion.
funds.
Okay, Audrey, mover, seconder? Seconder? Hazel? All in favor? We're going to
Question?
showcase, we're going to support it. Question? Elena, sorry.
Yeah, I'm wondering if, Aaron, if there's a, a, a way that you can get the organizers, I'm assuming it's parents of dancers and former dancers, um, together as kind of their own small organization for this event, so that if things do progress, council is not funding Michelle Farmer's dance studio to have an event.
Yeah, no, that's fine. If once you have the motion, that's what's going to help me develop how we're going to unfold, right? Like we do have a committee already started, but we can add it in there and what we want to see. Like that was already Michelle's vision was, bring back Santee Smith, like Murray Porter. She had Derek Miller. Like it's going to be like it's a celebration kind of, but it's also in the fact that it's her 50th anniversary.
Yeah, you
Yes.
could just formalize your committee, I guess, and
Sure.
yeah.
Elena, with the donations that you created with your committee, that would allow each dancer to put in an application to help source funding for this celebration, right? Could it be that way? If all the dancers that are going to participate apply through that process, would that be eligible?
I'm not sure about how that would work.
There is some criteria behind that, obviously, but there would also have to be that Michelle Farmer's Dance Studio would have to invoice them, and we would have to be able to see that there was costs that were going for that. I don't think it's the necessarily best way to do it, per
And
se.
I'm not really sure, and this is me without even speaking to Michelle. I don't know if she would want to take that from the kids if they had an opportunity to learn an art or something rather than help cover the cost of the show. That's me speaking. That wasn't my intent today, was that. I mean, I guess my intent too was, did Michelle want to go to the Sanderson Center? She never even thought about it. This was what we wanted to do, for her. Because it's 50 years, you know?
Sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to let Aaron know, if you haven't already, I heard you mention in your presentation um, about connecting and making it a part of our community awareness. We do have a community awareness
Yep.
committee, which will, and if you've engaged with them, then that's good.
I have somebody, we have a community member from work, so I was going to link that way.
Okay, all right, okay. Because one thing if it's connected with the community awareness, I want you all to know that already, with it being involved in that community awareness week, all advertising would be a part, and
Yep.
that would be under the
Yep.
community awareness. So I just wanted to give you that info.
I was trying to link it together, right? It's May, it's community awareness, free event.
It's warm.
Yeah. Let's hope.
Strawberries are almost. So yeah, I think it could be a great centerpiece of the Community
Yeah.
Awareness Month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a huge celebration.
So, Elena, again? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't know I had
No
so many
problem.
comments about this. But Aaron, I'm wondering, I've been part of a production at the Sanderson before, many years ago, but kind of behind the scenes. And just because this is arts and culture and now we're getting into community awareness, I wonder if it's possible, because there are kids that appreciate dance but maybe never have had the opportunity or are not able, but would like to be on the production side of things.
We can
And
put
I
a call
wonder,
out, yep, for like
yeah,
volunteers, different to learn skills, different things like that.
Hmm.
yeah, something like that.
I just happen to work in employment and training. I can probably organize something like that.
Thank you so much.
Melba?
Yes, Aaron, thanks for being here tonight. Yeah, and certainly recognizing the importance of our people who certainly, uh, I guess, take advantage of their talents as well as giving of their talents to the community. I would ask that you consider with your planning committee that the traditional component
Mhm.
of talent be included.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
That's a good idea. Okay, Hazel, question? Oh, sorry. Dale? Yeah, okay. Hazel
Yeah,
and Dale?
Aaron, do you recall a few years back, I don't know how far back, but in that show, Fair and John's,
Mhm.
I don't even remember the name of that, what it was about, but I sure enjoyed that show. Is there any chance you can bring him back? Because he sang with, I think he sang with a drum.
Mhm. I'll have to. Yeah, I mean, we'll do a call out. Like
Yeah,
we got lots of work to do.
yeah. Oh, we got lots of talent
We do.
in this community. Derek and,
Yep.
you know,
Mhm.
Lacey. Uh, Dale and Audrey, sorry. I mean, not yeah. Dale, sorry. Call him Daryl now. Dale Bomberg is going to speak next.
Do you need, Jennifer, do you need second motion or you wanna wait till you do your little review first to act on it?
Um, I guess it depends on what council requires. I
Mhm.
can bring an analysis
Okay,
before you make a final decision,
Alright.
or you can waive your second reading now and then have the analysis afterwards. It's whatever the council.
well, yeah, you voted on it already, didn't we? Yeah,
I would just like to put a little shout out to Betsy Bucket. Maybe we could get her there and get the crowd riled up because that's one terrific group that they're working
Mhm.
with. Yeah.
Yep.
Good comments, good questions. So the community knows that we're going to celebrate Michelle's School of Dance,
Mhm.
right, on May 17th, I believe.
17th. Yep. And I'll send everything out to.
Okay, so
You'll
look for the
see.
postings. It'll be
Yep.
in Two Row and
Yep.
Turtle, and
We're gonna have like a little
then we got to
campaign.
vote. So
Yep.
all in favor of supporting this endeavor? Carried, unanimous. Thanks. Thank you very much, Aaron. Are we going to, should we do a second reading on this, or is it just a process? Pardon? Move. Okay, so second reading. Dale, second reading, seconder? Audrey. Waive second reading. All in favor of, yeah, carried, unanimous. Thanks, Aaron. Yeah, okay. Now we can get back to our agenda. Hopefully it's quick. It's only 6:30. Thank you all for joining us on the line. Thank you, Elena, for our patience, for your hand coming up on the screen for us. Um, so we got the roll call. We did that. We're all here. As I said, most of us, some of us have gone to Iroquois Caucus at Nakwasasne. I'd like to thank them and for taking the time to do that, and hopefully they're traveling safely. Um, so we're now to number 6, adoption of General Council minutes of December 10th, 2024. Give a mover on that. You've got your minutes. Move on by Helen. Seconder, Hazel. We accept the minutes. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. We carried the minutes of December 10th. This right? Okay. Okay, now I have a series of chiefs updates while she's away, and just have to bear in mind that I have to read them for the first time. Okay, so she's involved with the Terry General Memorial. For information, on December 9th, she attended and gave remarks at the Terry General Memorial. I think some counselors did attend as well, right? So she attended and she paid tribute to this amazing man who fought for what is right for our community, as it's spelled out here. And many nyamas and congratulations to Dale Bunbury for organizing it, and the hard work of the Six Nations Council staff for organizing this event along with Dale. So thank you, Dale, for that. So they say thank you for that, Nyama. And then the meeting with Brant County for information on Wednesday, December 11th. Councilor Dean Hill, Cynthia Jameson, Leslie Green, Greg Fraser, and the chief met with Brant County Mayor Bailey and council members. This was a valuable opportunity to educate our municipal neighbor about Six Nations of Grand River. Plans are underway for a bi-council meeting between the Six Nations elected council at Grand River and Brant County, with a goal of meeting again soon to learn from one another and consider mutual interests. A pre-trial and information session, most of us attended. For information on Thursday, December 12th, council and I and she attended Blake's Castle's law offices in Toronto for a pre-trial preparation session organized and hosted by our litigation lawyers at Blake's. And then on Friday, January 13th, no, this is Friday, December 13th, it's an error here, council joined the litigation lawyers in Toronto at the Superior Court of Justice to observe the pretrial where she delivered a brief introductory remark. It was remarks about the Six Nations community before the official proceedings with the legal firms in attendance, all the crowns and the judge. She had a meeting with the city of Brantford on December 19th, 1 week later on the Thursday. She met with Mayor excuse me, Davis, so he could kind of introduce him to the city's new CEO. Michael Bradley is their new CEO in Brantford, and there was an introduction of hers to him as well. In Indigenous Services Canada monthly update, this issue highlighted importance of mental wellness in the winter and provided, excuse me, templates for speaking with family about mental illness and wellness in this community. Help resources for Indigenous peoples were also shared. The Hope for Wellness helpline at 855-242-3310 or online at chat www.hopeforwellness.ca is available to all of us. The newsletter also features a story on Sandy Lake First Nations ribbon cutting for their new health center. So that happened all in December. She goes on to say she attended the Chiefs of Ontario Progress and had update on the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. Chief's office staff attended a virtual progress update from Chiefs of Ontario on the United Nations Declaration Act on December the 11th. The purpose of this session was to discuss the progress to date on the implementation of the United Nations Declaration Action Plan. This session included a presentation from Nick Leeson, Associate Counsel at Woodward and Company, and a question and discussion period happened right after. As Council has previously motioned, Councillor Dean Hill and I they attended the AFN National Forum on UNDA in this February, and we'll share any further updates. And just a reminder, the United Nations on this declaration recognizes one of our ancestors, Diskahe, as being the founder of UNDRIP. And you can see it on their website where they actually declare Diskahe, Levi General, as the founder of UNDRIP, which is amazing for our community when you think about it. So I'd like to acknowledge that as well. So keep an eye out for the 59th Elected Council and Political Newsletter, Q1. For information, we have been working hard on the next edition of the 59th Elected Council and their political newsletter. The second political newsletter summarizes the goals, undertakings, progress, and achievements of the 59th during October, November, December of 2024. So keep an eye out for that. It'll be distributed in the community the week of February 24th. So those are her updates, Chief Sherilyn Hill. So can we have a motion to accept? Yes, comment? Dale?
Just a comment in regards to her update. In regards to the first one, the celebration for recognition of Terry General was actually a recognition of him being on the 51st elected council at the time. And he was very instrumental in dealing with the province at that time. And they were going through a session of downloading to ambulance service. And at that point, no First Nation and including Six Nations was on the table to receive such a service. But Terry and the director of the time, Ruby Jacobs, they attended the session, and Terry was very instrumental and emotional with his story as it related to his the loss of his brother in a family accident and the time that it took for an ambulance to get here. So Terry presented that to the board at that time, and as a result, Six Nations was I guess delegated or allocated an ambulance service to be located here on Six Nations. So that was the recognition for Terry and what he had done at that time. And that was part of the 51st elected council.
Thank you, Dale. That's a great summary. And I'd like to thank all those who were able to attend that celebration in honor of Terry. Okay, these are the chief's updates. So we usually accept them as for a record.
Yeah, this information.
Okay, as an information.
So you need to move her in a second.
Mover. Hazel, seconder. Naba. Any comments or questions? Thanks, Dale, for updates. Okay, all in favor? Carried. Okay. Item number 7. Oops, 8. Sorry. Recommendation for our audience and the listening to us and watching us. Here is the motion that is being presented. Recommendation 8.1, moved by Audrey Paulus Bombre and seconded by Hazel Johnson, that Six Nations of the Grand River Elected Council approve to move motions ICPL number 416 /12 /09 /2024 to ICPPL number 423 /12 /09 /224 to the open general council agenda. The motions are as follows: to post, is that to post these policies now?
It's that they're open.
They're open now for the public to review. In-camera meeting policies, the audio-visual recording policy, the attendance policy of council, the electronic equipment use policy, roles and responsibilities of members of council policy, roles and responsibilities of council policy, roles and responsibilities of the elected chief policy, and the code of conduct for members of the council policy. So those are all for the public now, and this motion moves that to the public sector for the review. So can you have a motion to accept that? Hazel, question? Oh, I'm sorry.
My legs are
I
getting
have too many
stuck.
H's here. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a formality because these are public documents. They always have been. And they're on our website. They were in the election code for anybody to see that wanted to see them. So it's just a formality to do this, but they've always been public documents.
They've been updated, so that's why we can put them in the public now. So thank you for that, Hazel. Helen? Oh, any other questions and comments? Seeing none, can we vote on this to have that ratified and put forward? All in favor? Do you have a mover and seconder in that motion? Carried. Carried. Okay. Second reading. Audrey, second to waive second reading. Hazel? All in favor? Carried. Updates from committees. The first one we have is a community committee. The Six Nations of the elected council accept the report by the committee chair, co-chair as information. Are they here?
I'm the co-chair, but I know Dean gave an update and I didn't have his information. So I know there was an update that was given camera yesterday, so maybe we can pull that out and, we can share it in the next general council. Yeah.
Okay. Part 2 of that is the Justice Unity Building and External Government Relations Committee, recommendation 9.2. The chair? No chair. We'll table that because some of those members are away. Okay. Built Environment and Climate Adaptation, Lands and Membership.
Yeah, that'd be me. I know some of the things, these have been shared before, and I think there's still, some of them might be still outstanding and still in progress. And one of them is in regards to environmental, and I know one of the, things that is being worked on is the gas well updates. I know historically was natural gas. There was a company that was here on the reserve years ago, and there was some open, existing wells that were producing natural gas on Six Nations. Um, but over time, when the company left, the gas wells some of them weren't properly closed. So the Environment Committee is working on, I guess, a mechanism to locate them first of all, and to go through the process and try and secure funding to close them. I know there's some individuals that have them on their property, and I think some of those ones have been communicated to, that ones that may be, I guess, a little more active, so they have been communicated to in regards to some guidelines and restrictions to that. But it's going to be an ongoing project to secure funding to go proper closure of all those wells. And I think they had estimated at the time approximately 250. In regards to housing, I know we set the date for our policies now, which is the 25th and 26th, which will be at the gathering place, correct, Shirley? For our housing policy?
The Housing Forum.
Okay. Location to be determined, but the date is those dates. January 25th, 26th. So it is a weekend.
The next Saturday and Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another update, I think there might have been some action in the community, and I think you can see it, Public Works is looking at establishing locations within the community for electrical charge for anybody who may have an electrical vehicle. I know there's a number of locations. I think they're planning on putting out a little map at one point. I'm not sure if that's gone out, but I know there's gonna be at the arena. There's one gonna be at the plaza. And I think there's one other location, I forget where. Oh, yeah, directly outside our administration on the far side of the parking lot. So, and those will be there for whoever has those electrical vehicles for charge up. And White Pines? I think that's the one at the plaza. I think they moved it. Yeah. That's all I have now for chair.
Any questions or comments to the chair? Thank you for that information. We can move to accept motion. Audrey, verbal report. Hazel, seconder. All in favor? Carried. Waive second reading. Mover. Audrey, seconder. Hazel, we're going to do the whole thing. Carried. All in favor? Carried. Okay, so we're now near the end of our agenda. Was there an addition? Oh, Helen had one addition, right, for the mold for this agenda? One last item.
Yeah, I've been in contact with Alex Jameson has been in contact with me because I brought it up to council before Christmas, before December, that he wanted to have a community meeting to talk about mold. And I thought it was a good idea because there's been so much talk about mold lately. Just to I guess just to let people know what's going on with their buildings, but it's not only our buildings, it's people's houses. I think if we had a community meeting on it, we could kind of turn it into like an education meeting as well, and have somebody there that is an expert in mold and can tell people what to do if you see it in your house. And because if you don't take care of it right away, it spreads, right? So we could do something like that, like make it educational for people as well, to say if you find mold in your house, this is what you can do. Because everything's getting so old. You know, I got mold in my house, or I had mold in my house. So
Audrey?
I think it would be good for people.
Yeah, just to add that to that, Helen, I think it would be also a good idea if we took this a step further as a preventative measure, so that we take it to housing and public works, and we teach our community how to build. What material should you be using? There's mold-resistant materials out there to use to build your house with. You know, there's stirrups that you could put on to raise up your 2x4s as you, so they, if it does flood in your basement, it's not going to be mold won't basically grow. So there's all kinds of stuff in what do you call that, insulation. So I think if we could get that and all the rest of the stuff out that's modern, up to date, that'll help our community. And too bad we couldn't have a place where we could buy it and kind of wholesale it so people will be able to get a better deal on it. But that's just an addition too. So yeah, well,
Any other comments? Dale?
Yeah, no, I think that's an excellent idea that Helen is proposing, and I know Hazel had commented yesterday, I think a while back, where there's some training was held for council's maintenance staff years ago, probably close to 10 years ago now, in regards to mold and the maintenance of it. So I guess I'll have to go back in my memory banks to see where that contact was, and we could probably bring that forward. But I think it's a excellent idea in regards to education, because it is in everybody's house. You know, how does it grow and how do you prevent it? What needs to be done. So I think it's an excellent idea. I just didn't know what time frame you were looking at, Helen, wanting to do this.
Well, I brought this up probably around the end of November, so I would hope soon as we can have a meeting.
Right.
So we
So I
just,
think we
we
should
just
put
have
that,
to
yeah.
pick a date.
Hazel?
Just to add to that, Helen, I received a message from Alex Jimin as well today, and he was asking me if I would support a community meeting on mold. I haven't responded to him, so of course I'd participate. What's that?
He's probably listening now, you can respond.
Okay, Alex, I'm in favor.
Yeah, I was contacted by Alex too, and I said I would support it as well. Just, I think he's doing his great lobbying. That's how you do lobbying. So I
Well,
thank him for that, and he
I
gave
guess
me a
we
call
just
as
get
well.
Shirley to come up with a date, isn't it?
Is that the process?
that-
Normally we give it to staff now to run away with it and set it up for us?
Nothing, we don't need anything, big, great big, anything. Great big dinners or nothing like that. We don't need that.
Well, we could just have an
I
open
know
discussion the first night, maybe.
we might be
Anyway,
able to have
whatever.
snacks or something, but
Yeah.
not a great big dinner.
Okay, Jeff? Or advice?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we'll look at, we have to bring in the technical experts, make sure that they're available. And which departments that are. We just talked about there being like the housing conference and stuff. So we'll work it in our schedule for sure and make it as expedient as possible. And also, you had mentioned bringing in a mold expert. So we would be privy to their scheduling as well. But we'll definitely start coming up with some options for dates and what that looks like as soon as we can.
I think some even medical expertise, maybe our partners at McMaster or something could come and tell us what you can actually, I don't know, I guess what it can inflict your or disease your lungs even, right? So even having that kind of a update on that, what can happen with black mold in your lungs? And that's the scary part, right? People get nauseous first and they continue to get sick. So I think we can have that kind of expertise, medical expertise as well. That's a good idea. Thank you, Helen.
Well, I think too, we could probably benefit from having somebody there from maybe housing to say, this is what to look for, or this, what does housing do about mold? Like,
make a motion.
Yeah, we could have some mitigation experts there that can help us. Because there are lots of things you can do in your home, I hear, when you first start, besides using Javix. So there's some other things you can do. So I mean, well, I think we get those experts there to help us with our homes. It'll be great for our community. Yeah. Audrey?
Yeah, can we turn that into a motion?
Yes.
Because when it's a motion, we act on it, and it's not just discussion. So I'll leave that to Helen if she wants to make a motion on it.
I'll make a motion.
Helen, yeah. Motion
I'll
to
make
have
a
a public
motion
meeting
to hold
on
a
mold
community meeting on mold issues.
issues, okay.
Is
Moved
that
by
good
Helen.
enough, or do I gotta say more?
Seconded by Audrey. All in favor?
You can gussy it up.
Doctor it up.
You can gussy up the resolution.
Okay, we're gonna doctor up there. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for Ellen, Audrey, for that motion. So the community, you'll know now tonight, we're gonna move forward on having an information night on mold and its issues regarding mold. And hopefully the staff will move that forward. We can have it maybe in February. If, okay, is that good? Do we have to have second reading on this one? I guess, no? She wants second reading. Okay, my colleague here says yes. Helen, Audrey, second. All in favor? There we go. There we go, community. We're having a public meeting. Audrey?
Just to go along with that, I don't think it should be one meeting.
Yeah.
I think it should be on a regular basis, because you have younger people coming into the housing business and what, building a house, and they have to learn from the very beginning and not learn by trial and error. And also, if they have it, they have to know how to identify it. And then it's gonna cost money to get rid of it, so there's a whole big financial contingency to this whole thing too, so, yeah.
And I would even think in housing might find or recommend to us, to our new homes and our homes that are needing renovation. I had some conversations probably about 10 years ago that there is available mold resistant wallboard available. And I think maybe that's what we should promoting with our young families that are building a new home. Yeah, and insulation. So we can sort of have a conversation about that too at our session. Okay, that's it. So let's move on to adjourn. Already we'll finish our agenda and it's only 7 o'clock. I love that. Okay, motion to adjourn, to go in camera. Melba, second or Dale? All in favor to go in camera? Adjourned, sorry. I'll get this yet. All in favor, carried. Okay. Thank you all for checking in with us tonight at the 59th Elected Council, January what's the date? The 14th at 6 o'clock. Thank you very much. It was a short meeting and very nice. I don't want to sound like Trump, but it sounds very nice. So, Ona. So thank you all for coming, and we'll see you again next week. Ona. So Jody, you're on.